Okay, so normally I would do a witty little comment that segues into our film. But I don't got time for that because this movie has a lot of credits to go through and a lot of names that I'm about to butcher. Because we're talking movies, we're talking The Birdcage, starring Robin Williams, Nathan Lane, and Gene Hackman, based on the play Le Cage aux Foules, which was written by Jean Perrault, who wrote an early draft of this screenplay, and then Marcelo Denyon, Eduardo Molarno, and Francis Verber eventually got to do a draft on the screenplay until Elaine May took it over and we got the final screenplay that Mike Nichols directed. Holy shit, I needed a breath there. But a woman is said to be her worth weight in hens. A man's wealth is measured by the size of his cock.
You literally fucking a million quotes and you had to fucking take mine. So I got nothing. I'm not even gonna try.
I really thought you were gonna be like the Marsha Graham, Madonna.
Everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of How'd You Like That Movie? This is going to be the second part of our Pride 2 episodes, I guess. I don't know why Scott chose to do just such a insanely long intro, but don't worry, I am here to save you from that. All right, Scott, take it away.
How are you here to save from the intro? Are you going to go back in time and cut it? Because it was
Gotta
fucking
go
done.
back in time.
It's done.
I'm late for school.
It's done. One, you've already cheated our audience without doing a quote. Like you can pull up quote. You got to have 2 or 3 in the pipe, right? See, I only have to pick one because I always go first, so it doesn't fucking matter.
This is true.
You should always have 2 or 3 in the pipe, man. Like it's not like we haven't been doing this for 2 years. But in terms of the film itself, love it. I love this movie. I'm assuming
this was your choice after my what would you call that debacle of picking King Cobra?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about King Cobra anymore. It's
Get that Cobra out of your mouth.
What did he say?
It's already out of my memory. It's done. But do you know who else really likes this film?
Your daughter?
No, director Paul Thomas Anderson. He says this is one of the only 2 films that without fail or question will make him stop dead in his tracks to watch it to the very end, no matter what is happening. The other film is The Shining. So that's really 2 big contrasts in terms of film.
There's almost no similarity between those 2 films at all. One is a cinematic thriller masterpiece, and the other one is a gay rom-com. But yeah. I mean, there you go, Paul Thomas Anderson. So we know what he's doing on a Sunday afternoon. So you picked this film. I want you to kind of like talk about it. Like, what do you love about it? You know, how often do you watch it? Actually, let's start there.
This isn't one that's on like a heavy rotation, but it is one that if it's similar to Paul Thomas Anderson, like if it is on, I will stop to watch it. But now with the streaming verse, maybe once every like 5 years, half a decade, I'll throw it on.
When did you watch it before watching it for the show?
When the last time I watched it was probably like 3 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure I watched this in theaters when it came out because I was huge, well, still to this day, huge Robin Williams fan. So yeah, most of his films.
One of the things that I realized watching this movie is just like how much I miss Robin Williams as like being around as an actor. You know what I mean? Like he's so good. Like he just like lights up a screen, especially like when he's doing comedy, like very, very accomplished, you know, dramatic actor. But like when Robin Williams is being funny, like it makes you feel just like warm and fuzzy inside. You know what I mean? He was just so good at what he did. I mean, to the point that like Steven Spielberg, while shooting Schindler's List, Robin Williams would like call him and just like tell jokes until Spielberg would laugh, just to keep him from being so weighed down by the heaviness of Schindler's List. So like if you can like raise the spirits of people working on a Holocaust film. Like, I think that just a fucking testament to your ability as an actor and as a comedian, you know?
Yeah, like the other thing that's kind of interesting, well, the thing that I appreciate a lot with this one, like in reality, in this one, Robin Williams is more of the straight man, where Nathan Lane,
Yes, he is. Yeah,
right?
he is, yes.
But originally, that's not how this film was supposed to be. Robin Williams was actually supposed to play Nathan Lane's character, and Steve Martin was going to play Robin Williams' character.
Damn, that would have been also so good.
And that would have been, even though they're friends for so long, Martin and Williams, they never actually made a movie together. And this would have been their first. And but Martin was working on, I think it was like Sergeant Bilko or something like that during that time. So he had to step out. And then Robin is the one that went to Mike Nichols and said, I want to swap it. I don't want to be like, because most of all of his films, he's the
like the zany one, right?
Yeah, he goes, I want to be the other one. I want to do something different. I want to be Armand. And Nichols agreed. And then, you know, they found Nathan Lane. And I think their chemistry too was off the charts. And that's what makes it, I think that's what makes this movie like so good, is because you fall in love with them.
I mean, the casting for this is fantastic. Robin Williams, Gene Hackman, Nathan Lane, and Diane Wiest. I mean, and then you got Hank Azaria, you know, Clarissa Flockhart, and Dan Futterman. Hank Azaria. So Hank Azaria is very funny, and I've seen him do similar kind of role where he plays like the Latin lover. If you think of when we did our episode of what was it, American Sweethearts?
Sweethearts, yeah.
What he was, yeah. I mean, he was a Pooh. He was multiple characters on The Simpsons. Well, he still is multiple characters on The Simpsons. That part does not age well. Him playing like the straight man playing the gay pool boy, house boy, or whatever. I mean, it's funny, but I'm like, there's definitely cringy moments. But Robin Williams, he like you said, he's the straight guy in this. Like he's the straight gay guy. He takes this role very serious. Like he plays it in a manner that is not what's the word I'm looking for? Basically derogatory to the LGBTQ community. Like, I mean, he was a very, you know, strong ally of that community until his death, obviously. Yeah, I think it's a very respectful film of that community. You know what I mean? Even though it's a farce. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And Nathan Lane's gay, so like him playing the role he's playing is very suiting. He's so good as the drag queen. So good.
But you know, you got to give him props too, especially this movie's like 96. Yeah, so not a lot of actors at the time were you know, did come out. Like, even though he plays an openly gay person, and he is openly gay now, when he filmed this movie, he didn't come out yet, right? Like, so
yeah, he came out publicly in 99. So even in this, he's essentially a straight man playing a gay character, even though he was actually gay, you know?
Mm-hmm. And even even watching this, I know you're saying you miss Robin Williams, but I also miss Gene Hackman, man. Like, that guy's so fucking good.
Yeah,
right?
And I mean, him and Drag at the end when they're walking through the bar, like he does a good job with it, you know what I mean? But
especially when he like starts making the comments like, I told him not to wear white because white's gonna make me look fat. Right? And I don't want to be the only girl not dancing.
No, not dancing with no one to dance with. Yeah. Gene Hackman is always really good at playing like strong conservative types of characters too, right? Like, I mean, Southern characters, Mississippi Burning, stuff like that. Like even when he's not playing a Southerner, playing like tough cops and stuff. So he's so good in this because he gets to play that strong conservative character, and then at the end, having him all dolled up in drag attire, it must have been fun for him, you know.
I'm gonna assume so, but I think the one thing I thought was like funny in terms of this is the the contrast in terms of Hackman and Williams, in which even though Williams is the straight man and technically Hackman's supposed to be the straight man, right? I find the choices he made with the mannerisms and stuff with Hackman always made me laugh. Like he wouldn't drink, but he was like, I need chocolate. Like, where's the candy? And you just see this guy like fucking bowing down. And then you have that role with Diane Wiest, right?
Yeah.
And then he's out of the house and she's literally like
throwing away candy.
Just putting it all in the garbage to like get him out, to get it out. And then he comes in through the window and he's like sifting through the garbage. It's like that's his drug, right? Like that's his cocaine kind of thing, that I thought was hilarious. But how you were saying in terms of Hank Azaria, do you know the voice he had as the butler?
That's his real voice?
No.
Oh.
It's based on his grandmother's voice.
Really?
That's how his grandmother sounded. He realized it after because he wanted to make two distinct sounds. So after watching it, I guess he realized that he was literally just mimicking how his grandmother spoke.
Don't watch this movie, Grandma. Don't watch this movie. I'll get written out of the will.
Everybody take it easy. Armand, why don't you let me be in the show? Come on, aren't you afraid of my watermelonness?
So this film, though, it's surprising to think that like how well it did at the box office. So they made this sucker for 31 million, which that's your mid-budget comedy or whatever. Made 185 million dollars at the fucking box office. I'm like, holy shit! Like that's crazy numbers for like essentially a rom-com. You know what I mean? Like,
but like I was saying before, like in terms of like Williams was a box office draw, right? Like whatever he was in was making money. And then, man, what would he have been coming off of? Or
in
96?
I don't know. You can look that up while I kind of talk about the fact that the sad part is that if you were to release this movie now, there's a very good chance, and I don't even mean now just because of COVID, I mean even just like right before COVID, there's a very good chance that like it would not get a big theatrical run. I don't know, maybe with Robin Williams star power it might have, but this could very easily be a film that Netflix put up and that was it. Like it got a Netflix run or an Amazon run, and it would never necessarily get the wide distribution. Again, the only reason it would is because of, Robin Williams being attached to the project. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So at this time, within the last 3 years of this movie being released, he was just coming off of Miss Doubtfire.
Oh, yes.
9 months and Jumanji.
Which one's 9 months? I don't know 9 months. But Jumanji's hilarious. And so is
with Hugh Grant. Hugh Grant and Julianne Moore.
Oh, okay.
So another rom-com. He was like a supporting. And then
but Mrs. Doubtfire, like he was on no doubt he was on fire after Mrs. Doubtfire. You know what I mean?
Okay. So yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah, I would say that like Mrs. Doubtfire and Good Morning Vietnam are like top two, Robin Williams films. I mean, unless you get into the like old golden oldies like World According to Garp and stuff like that, right?
Really? You wouldn't do Dead Poets Society?
Oh, fuck. You know what? That's a good film too. But that's drama. Like that's a hardcore drama. I mean, I guess so.
And Good Morning Vietnam was a drama?
It's a Good Morning. So yes, it is a drama, but he's so funny in it. Good Morning Vietnam. That it's Jesus. Okay, so hold on before I move. So Mrs. Doubtfire made for 25 million, $441 million at the box office, right? So yeah, Robin Williams was definitely the guy that was bringing in the loot for the production companies. You know what I mean? But yeah, Good Morning Vietnam it's a drama. It's Vietnam War, but like as Adrian Cronauer, and he won his Oscar for this, he's so fucking hilarious. You forget that the film is not a comedy, right? So.
And what was the other film you said that he was?
Oh, World According to Garp.
Okay. No Good Will Hunting there, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Good Will Hunting is clearly a drama. He's barely funny at all in that. Like, he's funny
No, in
in
terms
dialogue,
of
but
his
like, did he
best
get did he get an
performances.
Oscar? Did he get a
Yeah,
supporting Oscar
I
for?
think he got it for Goodwill. Yeah,
Good for him.
but the other thing is like, how do you feel about the director, Mike Nichols?
So he's got a pretty fucking established career. I mean, going back into the 60s and 70s with like Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, The Graduate, Angels in America. Have you ever seen the movie? So he did Charlie Wilson's War, but I want to talk about Closer for a second. Have you ever seen Closer?
Yeah,
So I've
that
watched.
fucked it up. Like,
So, did you say it's fucked up or it fucked you up?
both.
So I've watched Closer once, and I was like, wow, that was powerful. And I never need to watch that fucking movie again because I found it like so painful emotionally to watch. Because, and the way I describe Closer to people is it's like, imagine everything people are saying or thinking in a fight, but they like about infidelity, but they say it. Like the lines are so pointed that you're just like, it's so stabby, like right to your heart, right to your soul. Like you could never imagine being in like a fight with like an axe or whatever and having them say the things that are said in that fucking movie. Like it's awful. It's like cheese grater on your skin, awful, but so well done that I never needed to watch it again.
Okay, he did do one movie that I fucking love. Well, two movies that I fucking love. One's
I really
Wolf.
like Charlie Wilson's War. Charlie Wilson's War is great.
Yeah, but one's Wolf with Nicholson. Like I talk about it all the time. I think that movie's amazing. But the other one is the movie he did before that, Regarding Henry, with Harrison Ford. And
yes.
it was the best, like 180, like in terms of Ford's acting and the direction in which, like, you fucking hate Ford at the beginning of that movie.
Yes.
And then you just like by the end of it, you're like, he's the best man ever. I love this guy.
Yeah, Harrison Ford shows tons of range in that. And you're right, because like they really go from the poles to pole. Like he is an awful fucking human being. And then by the end, you're just like, wow, like what an endearing human, you know?
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Now we're not talking about the movie anymore, so I think we're almost done. So give me your stupid quotes about some random critic from like the local high school. And
I'm actually glad you said random critic. So this is a really small critic. So his name, I can't pronounce his fucking name right. Roger Ebert from the Chicago Sun-Times. I've never even heard of this guy. Anyway, what makes Mike Nichols' version more than just a retread is good casting in the key roles and a wicked screenplay by Elaine May, who keeps the original story, but adds little zingers here and there. And I would agree. I mean, I haven't seen the original, so I can only agree with that so much. But we just spent a bunch of time talking about the cast to the point that we were talking about the cast in other films. And by the way, like Diane Wiest is fucking awesome. I mean, I know she's in one of your favorite movies, Lost Boys. And like
she like I was gonna say she has one of the best lines too in this movie too, where she goes like, she was like, nobody likes me, right? Like I need to have somebody like me. And then once they do like the escape out of the club and they're all dressed in drag and she's like in like the dominatrix leather, and then the one guy's like grinding up and saying like, oh, I've never done this with a man, and she looks at him like there's always a first time for everything, because she was like, it's the first time anyone's like showing that kind of interest, like grinding up on her, right?
Yeah. That's so true. Yeah, man. Like I said, the cast in this is great. Have you seen the original?
No.
I want to take a look at it, because I mean it's Jean Perrault, who I mean is like a notable French director and actor and stuff like that. So I mean, how bad can it fucking be? They, like you said, didn't you say that he was originally on to do the screenplay for this?
He did. And they had 4 people that did earlier versions of the screenplay, and they're all credited in the credits. And it literally says like each name, it says early screenplay. So I don't know if it's like him for the play and the film and somebody else for the original films, because they're using, but normally in in credits, those are usually the, you know, based upon characters created by, right?
Yeah,
But they,
or you'll
like,
get a story credit or something like that.
yeah,
right?
but these, like, all four of these people got actual screen credit for an earlier screenplay, and then Elaine May took it over and she got final screenplay.
And that's the one they actually went to camera with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming you recommend this film?
Oh, 100%. Like, this is one that not only is it good, but some of the themes, some of the fucking dialogue in this film too, like, resonates then and it resonates now. Like when like Robin Williams playing the straight guy, when he does the line to his son, right? Because they're trying to convince him, you know, to technically pretend to be somebody else. And he was like, yeah, I might wear foundation, or I'm going to butcher this line, but when he was like, yeah, I might wear foundation, I might do that, but I know who the fuck I am. It took me 20 years to get here. And he's like, fuck this senator, right? So, like, even now, it's like, you don't have to conform, you don't have to change, be who you are, right? Be good in your own body, as long as you're not hurting anybody, keep it going.
Yeah, because I know the line, and you took out the F word, I think, right? Like the other F word.
What?
Well, the one that the derogatory term for gay people, I believe that got taken out of there, which is good. So this film's from 1996. Like, you know, we forget, because what I was going to comment is on before we get kind of out of here is like the son in this, I'm super annoyed with him most of the film, right? I'm like, oh man, like, why are you being such an asshole to your two dads, kind of thing, right? Like, da 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 da. But like in 1996, like there wasn't there, like where we are, and I mean, I'm sure the LGBTQ community would say like we still have a long way to go, but like where we are here in Canada around gay rights is like not where the United States was in 1996 around gay rights. You know what I mean? Like, so the son is actually acting in a way that's probably very realistic. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to like get everything cool with the conservative parents and move forward. And maybe this still exists now, but I mean, for me and like the world, the people I know and stuff like that, it was just like grating to hear this kid, like your dad's fucking Robin Williams and your other dad's Nathan Lane. Like, you have a fucking great life, man. Like, you grew up in a cabaret. Like, how fucking awesome that must have been.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't either, because I have not also grown up in a cabaret.
All right. But yeah, no, I get 100%. And then, but I think in terms of like, especially like with mid 90s films as well, like you have to have the turning point, right? And the turning point, like for him, the whole movie is he accepts his parents, right? Like when they're in the house, but not technically, he's scared about the outside, right? And then at the end, that's when he's like, I only have one mom. And that's when he goes in terms of Nathan Lane's character and reveals that he actually is a man. And then even that too was like one of my funniest scenes that I like too, because the reaction of Gene Hackman's character when they're like, what? And they're like, it's not Coldman, it's Goldman, they're Jewish. And then he's just like, you're Jewish? Like he still couldn't wrap his head around that he was a man. He's like, you can't be Jewish.
Yeah, doesn't she say to him, she's like, no, they're both men.
Yeah.
Like, I actually hold on, and you know, people, you should watch this film. It's super funny with the fact that Gene Hackman, like Nathan Lane, leans into the conservative woman so hard that Gene Hackman's like, this woman is amazing. Like, to the he's telling his wife, like, this is the type of woman that needs to be supported, and she's looking at him like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, he is so impressed by his female conservative woman that he's just like, that poor woman, and that Robin Williams' character is the one oppressing her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was like, I've seen this all the time. These Europeans and they're the worst Europeans, right? Like, look,
And he's
she
got
can't.
another woman in the house and a bunch of stuff like that.
Yeah, she can't even like run the house. He has to do it. He's giving us this soup. And what the hell was on those bowls? Looks like the two men playing leapfrog.
That was gonna be the other quote. Oh, this bowl. It looks like there's men playing. Are they playing leapfrog?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I got, man.
Yeah. And that is our wrap for the day. Please like and subscribe to this podcast. Tell your friends. If you want to get a hold of us, reach us at the www.howdyoulikethatmovie.com. In terms of, it's always them kind of dressing how the opposite of how they are, right? And Nathan Lane's character is in the full
Tuxedo, right? Yeah,
with the deep voice, right? Like he's like the manly man kind of thing, while they're doing the escape. When in reality, like he could have still been Starlina.
Yeah.
Because no one's there for Starlina, right? They're there for Gene Hackman, right?
Yeah, good. You know what, Scott? Good pick. It was fun. It was light, but yet also like such important, message and like milestones of like where we are in that conversation. But yeah, it didn't feel like you were being beaten with like a political stick, just with Robin Williams' shtick. Production by Rod Shaver, Vader Monkey Productions.